Today we have someone with us who ditched a law firm job after falling in love with bodybuilding, has gone through not one but 2 spinal fusions. She's a pro fitness competitor with a no-nonsense approach to food and training, and she is here to shake up the all-or-nothing mindset keeping so many people stuck. Alana Faye, or better known as Abs by Alana. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me. This is actually such a full circle moment because I actually used to work at the Anytime Fitness just down the road.
Oh, really?
So I parked right outside there and I was like, wow, this reminds me of coming at 4:30 in the morning to come train clients at 5 a.m.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's so funny.
Do you live near here?
World.
So I used to live at Salisbury and that's when I was working at the Macrobat at Anytime, but now I live in Carina.
Oh, no, had no idea you're like in Brisbane.
Yeah, I don't know why a lot of people assume I'm at the Gold Coast. I think it's just because a lot of my shoots there.
I think I assume North Brisbane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
North side is like a whole nother world to me. So.
Yeah, that's where I grew up, was North Brisbane. But I think just any female fitness coach on social media, people assume you're at the Gold Coast.
Yeah, I wish. That would be lovely.
That's where I am.
Oh, I'm jealous.
I will say it was weird today. I woke up at 5 o'clock and the sun wasn't up, and I was like,
Oh, because you were in Sydney.
what's happening?
Yeah.
I am not up at that time, unless I have to be.
You're like, is it not up at that time? It's always up when I get up.
Yeah, at 9, yeah.
Do you wake up at 9?
I wake up quite late. I have just accepted that I'm not a morning person. I tried so hard to be, but that does not work for me. I am a night owl for sure.
You know, that's such a good realization to have, because sometimes I feel like everybody's like, oh my God, they open social media and they're like, everyone made the sunrise. Yeah. And I was having that guilty feeling throughout like the Christmas period, and my partner's like a sleep in kind of person. And so I was finding myself sleeping in, and then I'd look at people and they're like sunrise, early morning, and I'm like, oh, I'm a piece of
And I love that
garbage.
for you. I'm a piece of shit.
So then I'm like, okay, no, like you're just not doing that, and that's okay. So it's good that you can like recognize and be like, I'm just not that person.
Self-acceptance here.
Yeah.
I like to sleep in.
Yeah.
And I have the freedom now that I can do that. So I'm grateful.
What time do you go to bed?
Probably like 10:30, 11. And then, look, I'll probably wake up around 7, 8 a.m.
Yep.
So, yeah, definitely a later riser.
What's it like to live my dream life? I'm actually really excited to have a chat today because your social media is the funniest page ever.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
That video that you posted last week of like
The typing.
Like asking you guys is like a creepy dude.
It's so funny because the content that you just think of on the spot is the ones that perform the best.
Content.
Yeah.
And that's why we keep telling people like, use the thoughts you have, like use the stuff that's there, and it's going to perform the best because it's actually real in front of you and it's happening and it's relatable.
I wore that t-shirt to bed. Like normally I'd be doing my full makeup, putting on a nice outfit or active wear, and I was like, no, I'm just going to film this. And it took me like 20 seconds and it went really viral. Yeah.
So funny. It was so good. Oh man, it made me
I could
laugh.
not stop laughing at it. One of my clients sent it to me and he's like, it's even worse for me because I'm a bodybuilder coach.
Oh, so much worse.
So much more.
Look at the striations in your glutes, dude. Looking sick.
Yes, it was looking like a walnut back there.
You just can't go over that in any other circumstance.
So far. But even like as a bodybuilder, like, because you have comp prep clients.
Yeah.
And then it's even like they're close to comp prep day, like with their tan on, they're like fully nude. Like, do you have people that don't even blur their like parts out and they just send you full nudes?
I mean, you do get that. Sometimes I get like a line that they've drawn on Snapchat or something. I appreciate that. Yeah.
It's just like, oh my goodness, okay. Just blocking out a bit.
Some people are comfortable.
Yeah.
And I love that for them.
It's funny you say that because like on the plane today I was just like scrolling through Instagram and on my phone it's like reshots or like bikini shots or like people in sports bras and undies, and the guy next to me, I just imagine like the outside world looking in being like, what is this girl looking at? And it's like, it's so normalized in our world.
He'd be like, is she on Instagram or on OnlyFans? Like, what is happening?
Thin line.
Did you want us to tell I can't talk.
You've had 30 minutes sleep, so that's justified.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a Delulu moment before the podcast started. But tell us about your journey. Tell us about how you got into coaching and all the details.
Okay, so initially I was studying primary school education at uni. So I studied for about 2 years on and off. I kept taking breaks because I wasn't sure that it was for me. And at the time I was just dealing with some really bad mental health stuff too. So I think I just needed that break. I ended up working full-time as a home loan conveyancer. Home loan processor, sorry. And then I worked at a law firm. I did a bunch of travel, and I was kind of just trying to find out who I was, and I had a lot of pressure on myself. Like, this was all intrinsic pressure, nothing externally. I just put so much pressure on myself to know exactly what I was going to do with my life. And I think I compared myself a lot to the people around me who were studying or who were very sure of what they were doing. I just felt very lost. And I think that's what geared me towards bodybuilding. I think that really gave me purpose at the time. And I became really, really passionate about bodybuilding and absolutely loved it. And I just loved having that direction and structure and discipline. And I feel like I learned a lot about myself throughout that process. And I guess that ignited my passion for health and fitness. So I actually did end up going back to uni because I was volunteering overseas in Cambodia to teach English and do community projects. And then when I came home, I was like, feeling very inspired. So I thought, okay, I'll return to teaching. I'll finish my degree. I only have a year and a half left. I think I went back for a semester and I was like, I hate this. I really don't like this. I liked teaching people in a small group capacity, but I hated dealing with an entire classroom of students. So I obviously taught primary school. I was dealing with behaviour management and things like that. I just found it extremely overwhelming. And I get quite anxious speaking in front of large groups as well. So I don't know why I thought that was going to be a good career path for me, but I took a break from that. I think that's when I started working at the law firm, and I was still doing bodybuilding at the time. So I did bodybuilding for like 3 or 4 years. And then a lady that I worked with at the law firm, there were 2 ladies, so there was a lawyer and a receptionist, and they both wanted to lose weight, and we trained at the local Good Life. And because they saw me competing and tracking my macros, even though I didn't have any experience as a personal trainer or qualifications for that matter, they just pretty much asked for my help, asked for advice. So I would just give them tips and tricks here and there, and we'd train together, and they started tracking macros. One of them ended up losing about 25 kilos, and that was when the lawyer, her name is Sandy. Oh, her name is Sandy. She's still a client. Sounds like she's dead. Sorry.
I love that your intrusive thoughts just Sandy, I hope you're not listening.
Rest in peace.
It's such an aggressive overcorrection.
But she's not dead. Very alive and well. So she was like, why don't you do this for a job? And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. But I think because it was so oversaturated even then, and a lot of people in my life told me that it was oversaturated, and it's probably something more so to look at as a hobby than a career path. But at the end of the day, that was the only thing I was really passionate about. So my dad lent me money at the time because I didn't have enough money to pay for my course, paid him back obviously, and started personal training. And then I ended up working part-time at I actually don't know what this company was. So I was doing something in finance part-time, mostly on Instagram. And then I started working at Anytime Fitness at Macrovat, and absolutely loved it. And yeah, that part-time job was only meant to be a summertime thing. So once that finished, I pretty much was,
all in on
personal training.
Wow. What a journey.
I know, what a journey.
It is actually cool when you do go through like so many different avenues to find what you want to do. And I feel like it really helps to solidify like, okay, this is actually what brings me light. Like, and puts like a fire in my belly, where I feel like, that immediate, like, you need to know what you're doing after school is such a hard thing. And when you do see people that you're like, how do you know what you want to do? It's like low-key annoying, but at least like...
High-key annoying, actually.
High-key annoying. But then at least like you know that you've gone through it all instead of having possibly like a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
So that is very interesting. I really like that.
Yeah, it was definitely something I struggled with for a long time. And obviously, looking back in hindsight, you can see how everything sort of came together to ultimately end up where I was meant to end up. But during it, I would not relive that ever again.
Yeah.
Very, very tough few years trying to figure out, I guess, who I am and where I fit in the world.
It's funny because I know you as like a general like health women's coach, right? But Kira knows you as a bodybuilder coach.
Yeah.
So were you like really leaned into bodybuilding and now you kind of leaned out of it? Like,
the thing is, majority of my clients have always been, I would say, 90% general lifestyle clients, and then about 10% would be bodybuilding and comp prep. I think because I was so involved in the bodybuilding community myself that maybe that's why it was perceived that way. And I think bodybuilding clients are more inclined to let you post their transformations, whereas a lot of lifestyle clients maybe aren't as inclined to let you share their transformations. So I guess more of my content was probably geared towards that. And also, I guess that was the phase of life that I was in at the time. So I was probably more so posting about that.
Because this was probably 3 years ago that I was like in the bodybuilding world.
Yeah.
And so I think I just like saw you around or saw you have clients or like even at like the ICM posing, the group posing, you were probably there because I was in Brisbane, North Brisbane, kind of thing. So that's how I know you as bodybuilding world.
Okay, because comp prep is is something I've never advertised ever. It's really just word of mouth. It's not something I try to get clients for because I feel like it is a very niche target market, and I feel like I want to make sure that I align in every possible way with the client that I'm working with, especially when you're taking them through something like a comp prep. Yeah.
Absolutely. So then you went into the online space and you also have a coach called Zoe.
Yes.
When did she come into the picture?
So she came into the picture, it's been 2 years as of this month. So, she actually came into the picture when I was at a 21st birthday party. So I was at a 21st birthday party for a friend of mine that I used to work with at the law firm. And I remember this girl with braces coming up to me being like, oh my God, you're Alana Faye. I follow you. Like, I really want to compete one day. And that was Zoe. So I ended up working with her not long after that. And she's essentially competed each year from 2022.
Holy crap.
Yeah. And then we started working together. She's been a coach this whole time. And prior to her, I was working with a coach named Gemma. Absolutely love her. She's now a Pilates coach in Perth. She moved there to be with her partner. And Zoe ended up coming to work for me and we've been working together ever since.
Is Zoe full-time with you or?
Zoe's one of these people that loves to have her fingers in a lot of pies. So she has a lot of different roles in different businesses as well, because she's actually studying marketing at uni. Yeah. And I think it's sports management, events and sports management. So she does a lot of work for other companies as well. But she works more as a subcontractor for me.
Yeah. So what's that dynamic like? I think when a lot of people hire, they see it as, okay, I don't have clients now. Like you do the clients and I run the business.
Yeah.
So what's the dynamic on the inside?
I very much still like to be involved. So I think because we had worked for so long together prior to that point, like she knows exactly how I work, exactly how I approach situations and how I speak to clients. So when she first started working for me, I would obviously like monitor all of her check-ins to make sure that she was doing everything the way I would as a coach. So I want to make sure that everyone's getting a good service, especially when your business is your name. If someone's getting a negative experience, I want to make sure that I'm all over that. But Zoe is like, I trust her more than anything. Like she is such an incredible coach, and I feel like, those people that don't treat your business as their own, and you wouldn't expect them to because it's not theirs, but Zoe definitely does. So I appreciate her so much.
That's really nice. I feel like that's a really big thing, is like making sure that you trust the person before they 100%. Come into your business. I feel like you hear so many horror stories about like hiring and then they either like take everything and leave, or they just like don't treat it as well as you would. Would you have any advice for like other people looking to bring on subcontractors?
I do. I was actually speaking to a girl I met at a friend's birthday, and she was saying when you hire someone, you don't want a queen bee. A queen bee is most likely going to use you as a stepping stone to then start their own business. You want a worker bee. So someone who is a worker bee they love showing up to their job, doing what they need to be doing, and then clocking off. A queen bee is very motivated to, do their own thing and go above and beyond and want to, get the most out of it. So I think it's hard to try and determine who's a worker bee and who's a queen bee. But I would say that's That's my advice. Yeah.
I like that.
Because obviously there's a lot involved with running a business. It's not just working with the client specifically. So, if someone isn't interested in doing the administration side of things or the financial side of things or the advertising or marketing and things like that, because it is a lot more involved than just coaching clients. Yeah.
Did it take you a while to learn the ropes of it? Like, were there mistakes made?
Probably, for sure. I think I was very naive, especially in terms of taxes and controlling my finances. Like, I just kind of didn't spend the money that I was earning, and I didn't really understand what was mine versus what was the ATO. So I kind of just didn't touch it, and I was very scared of that. And I remember going to my first appointment with an accountant. I think I was 21 at the time. And he's like, oh, okay, if you could just send me through all your invoices. And I was like, invoices? What do you mean? He's like, when you invoice a client. Sorry? I think I literally would just in an email put my BSB and account details, just send that through. He was like, you need to be invoicing people. And I think my business account, I didn't realize you actually had to have a business account with your bank. I literally just opened an account and called it business. So these are the things that they do not teach you in school, and you learn it along the way.
It's a very normal, done thing. A lot of people do it.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things, I guess, you learn it throughout the journey.
And do you have plans to scale your business past one coach?
I honestly don't think so. I think I still like working with people in a one-on-one capacity, maybe potentially one-to-many, but I don't think I want to hire more coaches. I just think more coaches, more problems.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're managing people, there's a lot more at stake there. So I think, I would just like to keep it within Zoe and myself for now, at least. That's the plan.
I think that's nice to hear, because I feel like a lot of coaches are like, I want to grow it to X amount of people and blah, 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 and they keep being bigger and then come further out of it. It's actually refreshing to hear that someone's like, no, I want to stay in it. I love this.
Yeah. And I just genuinely am very passionate about it and enjoy it a lot. I love my work. So I think people who do have those scalability goals probably would be more driven by the money factor than the client relationship, which isn't a bad thing.
They don't get to wake up at 9 a.m. like you do.
Yeah, I guess it's that whole conversation of what is success to you, rather than comparing your success to somebody else's.
For sure. Yeah. And I think with social media especially, there's that comparison and trying to find out actually what is meaningful to you. And I think going through my spinal fusions and having that time to reflect, I realized that connection and community for me is more important than anything else. Yeah.
Let's dive into that.
Okay.
Yeah. So when did everything start?
Okay, time for the trauma dump. So I was diagnosed with spondylolisthesis around 2018, 2019. So this is when I was competing, and I had already committed to competing in New York for my pro debut. So it was something that I could work around at the time. So I was just taking conservative measures because it wasn't really that bad at that point. It was just something that I was aware of, and I just modified my training and I was able to work around it. And then once that season was over, it just progressively got worse. I'm pretty sure that's when COVID happened, right at the end of 2019. So we were obviously in lockdown. I was really struggling with chronic pain.
Can I ask what that is? What?
Yeah,
I was going to say, what is it?
Yeah, so it's essentially a slipped vertebra. Mine is at the L5-S1, and it's graded from 1 to 4, but that doesn't mean it's more severe if it's a grade 4 versus a grade 1. You could be a grade 4 and be asymptomatic, whereas you could be a grade 1 and be in very severe pain. So I was a grade 2. It's just the degree of slippage. So I had an 11 millimeter slippage. So the bone was just slipped onto the one below it. And it was basically just causing me a lot of pain, especially a lot of nerve pain towards the end. And it just got to the point where I was just so weak. I remember going into an appointment with my sports doctor, and she wanted me to do a single leg calf raise, body weight on one leg, and I just could not do it. And I'm someone who previously could hip thrust 160 kilos, and I couldn't even lift my own body weight off the ground. So that was very eye-opening. And I think I was dismissed for so long, not only because I was so young, but also because I was fit and presented very well. So previously I was a gymnast growing up, So I'm quite flexible. So whenever I went to the physio, they'd be like, okay, let's just, stretch your leg here, stretch your arm here. And I was always able to be quite flexible. So they were like, you seem fine.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas obviously the scans were showing otherwise, but I think they were very much reluctant to perform surgery on me because I was so young. But it just got to the point where my quality of life was just so bad. It definitely wasn't something that I agreed to lightly. I was struggling for probably about 3 or 4 years before I actually went through with the surgery. And that was going to a physio every single week. And yeah, I just didn't see any improvement whatsoever. So
Wow.
So with a spinal fusion, obviously it's a pretty big surgery.
Yeah.
So what does it look like?
Okay, so initially when I had my appointment with the surgeon, he said, we're going to take an anterior and posterior approach, so front and back. Yeah. And because I was bodybuilding at the time, I was very concerned with how I looked and I didn't want that scar on my tummy. So I did a lot of research and I spoke to him. I was like, what would be the ideal situation? Like, would we potentially be able to just do a posterior approach? So I just had a scar down my back. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I'm happy to do that. He said the recovery time is a bit easier or something like that. So it was more so just for like the security of going through the front and back. Anyway, so I just took a posterior approach and that spinal fusion actually failed. My body just did not fuse. So I think it had been around 6 to 9 months at this point. And every 3 months they will essentially get you to do a scan. And my body was just showing no evidence of the spine fusing together. And by that point, it definitely should have. It can take up to, I think, a year and a half at the maximum, but throughout that time, you should be seeing improvement along the way, and they just weren't. So I think, at the 3-month mark, they were like, oh, okay, just wait until 6 months. Like, it'll start showing evidence that it is. And then 6 months went by and it wasn't. And then 9 months, and they were like, yeah, it's not fusing by this point. So my options at that point were to wait it out and see if anything improved while I was progressively getting worse, or get a second spinal fusion, which wasn't guaranteed to improve anything.
Wow.
So I was very nervous, especially I had never had a surgery ever in my life prior to that. So the first surgery took a lot out of me mentally as well as physically, obviously. So the idea of a second surgery was very scary.
Yeah, that's so scary.
Yeah.
It's so traumatizing.
Spinal surgery being your first one. I've never had surgery done either. So the thought of your first one being on your spine, that's terrifying.
It was really scary. So the second surgery, essentially they wanted to do an anterior and posterior approach and a bone graft from my hip.
Wow.
So I was very nervous for that, but my surgeon was confident and it was seeming promising because essentially the bone didn't fuse because we didn't have that bone graft from my hip, so that would promote growth in that area. So that's why they did it that way the second time. In most, in 90% of cases, it would have worked the first time. My body just didn't respond, so it was very unfortunate. The second surgery, though, was much more promising. At that time, though, I went through a relationship breakup, a long-term relationship ended, moving out, and this was right around the time.
We were working with you at this time.
Yes, you were actually.
I remember. We took a bit of a break.
Yeah, it was a lot at once for sure, and then so I bought an apartment by myself and, was still trying to run the business at this time. Couldn't drive for 8 weeks. Was trying to focus on rehab, which didn't begin until about 3 months post. So it was just a lot at once. So navigating a business during that time was a lot. And I'm definitely someone that doesn't want my personal situation to ever affect my clients or for them to ever know. Obviously I documented my journey on social media, but I never wanted that to affect my quality of service. I was literally out of surgery on my laptop, responding to clients. So I didn't want that to affect my business.
It's
whatsoever.
crazy that you just don't know what's going on in people's lives, hey?
No.
Mm-hmm. I remember you flippantly said to us, I've just got a surgery. We're like, okay, cool.
She getting a boob job? Or?
We're like, oh, no worries. Little did we know the most traumatizing point of your life.
Just on my spine, no biggie.
No biggie.
How awful though. There's nothing worse than having a medical condition, obviously.
Yeah.
But especially when you're in a physical job and your job is to be a coach, that is just heartbreaking.
Yeah. And
also being in bodybuilding too.
Oh, yeah. I think competing became such an inherent part of my identity as well that once I was removed from that scene, I really struggled with that as well. And then obviously my physical capabilities were so limited too. So I think I just got such imposter syndrome, especially in relation to coaching, because I was like, why would anyone want to work with me right now?
Was it hard that the decision was made for you? So the decision was made for you to stop bodybuilding, or were they like, you really shouldn't?
So I basically stopped because I needed to have the surgery. So, and it was COVID lockdowns anyway, so there weren't any comps. So it kind of, was made for me. And I think I was always adamant that I was going to go back to competing, but I think the longer that I've been out of it, it's just not something that I'm aligning with at the moment. So I'm definitely just more so focused on my coaching and my clients.
Yeah, it really is hard to go through that identity crisis when people associate you with that. Like I've had friends that also do it and they're like, I don't know who I am without it. And there's such a big thing now to be like, learn who you are outside of what you do or your sport or whatever it is, so that when that is taken away or you do have to stop, that you don't are just like, who am I?
Yeah, I think you've definitely got to fill up multiple buckets of who you are as a person. And if you're only filling up one, once that's taken away, you really have that loss of identity once you're no longer associated with that, which is definitely something that I struggled with and so many competitors do. And I think that's why when I work with my comp prep clients, I'm very much focused on them having multifaceted goals and not losing that side of themselves. Like I know a lot of coaches will be like, do not go to these social outings when you're in comp prep, like it's going to make things so difficult. I'm like, go, just don't eat. Because I don't want you, neglecting friendships and, neglecting very important aspects of your life in order to compete, because at the end of the day that's going to be 6 to 12 months of your life.
Like obviously balance doesn't completely exist during a bodybuilding comp, but you got to make sure that you don't lose the people around you just by being so focused on that one goal.
And it's very much all consuming, so I can understand how people would definitely
when you're going through this, I don't want to call it a phase, but when you're going through this era of your life, period of your life, did your business suffer because of everything going on?
I don't think it suffered because of my back condition. I think it suffered because of my mentality around it. It was more so just me struggling with the fact that why would anyone want to work with me? I have nothing to post because previously I was posting about my comp prep journey. Why would anyone care now? Who's going to be able to relate to, I think I was 23, 24-year-old going through a major back surgery. So, and I almost just felt very negative whenever I showed up online when I was explaining what was happening, and it just felt very repetitive. And I felt like I was annoying myself because I was like, I want to give good news, guys, but I don't have any.
My life sucks. The reason why I ask is because so many people in our community go through things, and I'm a really big believer your business is an extension of you. So if you're going through a really rough time, your business will follow, and it's just the way it is. So for people that are going through that, do you have any advice on how to get to the other side?
I think it's just one of those things, not letting your mood dictate your actions. I don't think my business necessarily suffered at all. It was more so just the self-doubt that I had that really affected me quite badly, because I was still showing up for my clients probably more so than ever because I had so much free time. I wasn't training like I normally was. I didn't have the commitment of competing. I wasn't in a deficit. So I wasn't, I had much more capacity to be able to work with my clients. And I think just keeping that part of your life separate as well. Obviously, you want to be transparent about what you're going through, and we're not robots, we're human, but I think trying not to let that part of your life affect your business as well. But also, knowing when you need to take a step back. And I found for me, working with a pain psychologist actually really helped. I spoke to an OT after I had my surgery and kind of explained to her everything that I had been through in the past year or two, and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, actually, no. Now
that you've asked, no, I'm not.
I'm very much someone who just powers through. So I just completely powered through, end of a 5-year relationship, bought a property. I was living by myself and I was working on my business. And then I was like, am I actually okay? Because I'm not. And I think that didn't hit me until about maybe 6 months later. And working with a psychologist really helped me through that, navigating that.
It's funny how we keep ourselves busy to avoid the pain, and then the pain just hits us and you're like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that.
Why is this only hitting me now? Yeah.
And sorry if I'm wrong, but did you only just get back into training recently properly, or?
So I've been consistently training this whole time, obviously just at a different capacity depending on what stage I'm at. So as soon as I got into training after my surgery was about 3 months post. So I trained at the hospital twice a week and basically just followed a rehab program, just trying to build my strength back up. And they would, test you on machines to test your different ranges of motion and show that improvement. So the fact that I still had that background of being very strong and having, a fitness background of strength training really, really helped improve my condition for sure.
Did you find a new appreciation for what you do?
Yes, I think I had a lot more empathy for my clients. I think when you compete, you're very much like, just do it. Like, what do you mean?
It's not hard.
Like, just get it done. But I think now, having been through this myself and realizing like obviously I was not approaching it that way to clients, but yeah, I think you very much approach it in a way of like here you go. That's the plan, follow it.
Yeah.
Whereas now you realize like circumstances are never perfect, and I think that's definitely helped develop like the core identity of my business, which is ditching the all or nothing approach, because I definitely think I struggled with that a lot, especially going from a competing background to then just trying to live a normal, balanced, healthy lifestyle. It's very difficult to be so all-consuming in a comp prep and hitting everything right and then feel as though you can't be consistent afterwards. So it's very much that all or nothing mentality.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
No, you're
what
right.
you're talking about. I feel like, you have to go through something really traumatic to gain empathy for areas like that. And we speak to a lot of coaches on this podcast, as you'd know.
Yeah.
And it's always the coaches that have gone through something deeply traumatic that have the best relationships with their clients because their empathy is on another level compared to just being a regular person.
Yeah, and I think in my mind as well, like I thought it was a limiting factor in me getting clients, whereas actually it was something a lot of people resonated with. Obviously not to the extent of having a spinal surgery, but so many people have situations going on in their life, and if they're just being coached by someone who competes when they ultimately don't want to compete, they don't have that relatability.
I've found recently that a lot of people are scared to show up online and talk about like the negative thing that's happened to them or showcase more of their life. And then when they start doing it, they're surprised by how much people reach out to them and say like, hey, like I can really relate to you. This is actually like you're a relatable human being. And instead of being like, oh, I just show up and be negative, like you were saying before, but people are like, that people have always got something going on, and if they can relate to a human, it's crazy what it can do with like the connection of other humans, and they feel less alone. Is that what you found as well? Oh,
absolutely. Like I've connected with so many people online through this experience, which has been really, really good. It can be very dark when you get in your own head and you're struggling with things like that. So being able to connect with other people who have been through similar situations, it can be, it just kind of fills your cup, and I really appreciate that. So I've really loved like connecting with other people.
In a way, are you grateful it happened to you because you're like a new person?
I definitely think so. Like I have an appreciation for it. Would I go through it again? Absolutely not.
Is there any risk of a relapse like that though again?
I still struggle with chronic pain.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's very like cyclical, like it's around my menstrual cycle. So they're investigating endometriosis at the moment because that tends to inflame my back every single month. But yeah, I'm not too sure in terms of relapsing. He's pretty confident that I won't need another surgery again. But I mean, you never know. You never know what can happen. So
do you know what causes it in the first place to happen?
So it can either be like a trauma or it can be congenital. So you're born with it. It's normally, if it's something you're born with, you'll be like hypermobile. It's very common in gymnasts and fast bowlers, apparently. I did gymnastics, so apparently it's quite common in gymnasts. Because I mean, you're not fully developed and you're moving your body in ways that it shouldn't.
Contorting yourself.
So yeah, it's very hard to tell, but my surgeon said it's most likely something that you were born with, because it takes several years for you to be able to develop. Because my parents were so worried. They were like, oh my God, bodybuilding caused this, like all of that strength training, you're lifting too heavy, things like that. And I was like, oh my God, like have I like just brought this on myself, but yeah, I mean, it probably wasn't made any better by lifting extremely heavy, but it definitely like improved my ability to recover because I actually was strong in the first place.
If you weren't training, it would have been something else causing it. Like,
yeah, I think I may not have noticed it for a long time, and it probably just would have been like weakness that eventually deteriorated over time.
It's such a good reminder that like, even though like maybe the strength training had a play in like making it worse, but it is really cool that like strength training is the thing that made your recovery better.
For sure. And I've dealt with so many different like healthcare professionals. Like I've been to so many different ones, and the amount of health professionals, mainly who are quite outdated, who will tell you just to stop doing everything. And that was like the worst possible advice because I would get so stiff. I would get so scared to be able to train. You know, you become deconditioned when you're not training, which makes the pain worse. So it was just like a vicious cycle. So actually working with people who understood that movement is medicine was really important for me so that I could continue showing up.
we have this conversation nearly every day in the office.
Yeah.
The gap between health and fitness and Western medicine.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It's wild.
Yeah.
This is so rogue.
No, go for it. I love it.
Because I have like a pretty intense medical story as well, like a bit of trauma there. Is it?
Please let us hear it.
No, your podcast, but is it funny like how you weirdly get trauma bonded to your surgeon? You're like, you saved my life. I love you.
Thank you, Dr. Gatehouse.
Because like, I don't know, it's like my life's in your hands and you fixed it. And then then you believe every word that they say. And when you're saying that, I was like, God, I know how you feel right now.
I remember I met with a couple surgeons prior to having my surgery, and the one that I actually went with, I didn't really not think I have to like gel with them necessarily, but I was like, like I wasn't quite sure. And I remember someone saying like, you don't want this person to be your best friend. Like, if they don't have people skills, who cares? They have been like deep in the books.
If they don't have people skills, they're probably good at their job.
They're probably better at their job because they're like, I don't care about you. I just want to fix the problem.
The best surgeon is a calm surgeon. Like,
he was so calm.
You'll be in like with the anaesthetist and freaking out. They're like, hey, are you ready? And you're like,
you're about to cut me open.
He's like, this is my 5th one this week. Like, we're good. But that's what you need. You need that like level-headed energy because I was very anxious.
My first surgeon was so rogue and like not mean to me, but I guess just like blunt.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to die. And it's like, okay, you're going to perform surgery on me.
Cool. You want someone who's going to be straight to the point though.
Yeah. They don't have to have a personality. Sure, most of the anesthetists do though.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, like the people that are literally in charge if you live or die. They're the funniest people.
Yeah. I would be so funny if I was earning that much.
I feel like I'd want to think of jokes before you say to them, like before they go on that. Like you want to think of something where it'd be like, let's count. Like just
apparently, like in the surgery, everything's on them, so not the surgeon itself. So like I don't know how they're. I would be shitting bricks.
They get paid
every time.
Well,
yeah, is it like $500,000 a year? Or
it's
something?
like one of the best paying jobs.
Yeah. And do you know redheads actually need more anesthetic?
I've heard this.
Oh, that's crazy.
I've heard this.
I was born naturally redhead and then it fell out, came back blonde, and now I'm like copper again.
Yeah.
But I take to anesthetic so well.
Really?
Yeah. Like
Not
I
a
go
true
to
redhead.
the dentist. Yeah, I mustn't be. I go to the dentist, literally a little bit of anesthetic. It's like up to my eyeball. Like, and I'm like, oh, I can't feel my face. And they're like, oh, fuck. And they're like, sorry.
It's gone overboard.
But I think it wears off quickly. So it's probably that it like takes really well and then wears off fast. So
that's the hard part when your body starts to burn through it. That's what they have to monitor.
Yeah. Oh my God. Waking up during a surgery would be.
I remember my first surgery, my anaesthetist gave me too much and I was out for like 8 hours and Dad was like, is she alive?
Do you know, I made the mistake of watching a series called Dr. Death before my surgery. Have you heard of this case? It's a man in America and he essentially just went around to different surgeries and performed spinal fusions on people and botched them on purpose. They did it intentionally, and because there was no like trail or evidence of it, because they didn't have it inputted into a system at that point in time, like it was just like a paper trail really. So he didn't get caught for so long people died, people were paralyzed. I was like,
do you like
what?
traumatizing yourself? Like,
I was like, oh, it might just be like informative. I don't know.
I would like convince myself that my surgeon was like that
Out to
person,
get
like,
me.
like dressing up as somebody else. Like, oh my god! But I'm low-key really want to watch that.
It was very good.
That is insane. I feel like I'm just some light watching for myself.
I was so numb at that point. I think I was just in so much pain. I was like, whatever helps at this
I
point.
need to feel something.
Yeah.
Let's see worst case scenario.
Surely it can only get better.
Anything better than this, chef's kiss.
Yes.
oh, it's so good that you come out on the other end so positively though.
I think that's something that I do appreciate about myself is that I am very resilient and I do keep like quite a positive mindset about things, which is good.
And you're very bubbly.
Oh, thank
I
you.
always go to your page when I want to laugh.
Oh, thank you.
You just crack me up. Like, I don't know how you come up with some of these ideas. Was it one with a car and you ran yourself over or something like that? Or you ran over something? There was a video that you had with a car and I think it went viral and it was so funny.
That got taken down actually because I think I know what video you're talking about. It's basically like when you weigh yourself and the scale weight is up and then it was like just joking. Obviously, we're not joking about
where people are like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the comments where they're like, got a knife. And they're like,
I think I was trying to show you it. I couldn't find the video.
Yes.
It must have been taken down.
It was, because I got a lot of negative messages about it. And I'm like, as someone who struggles with mental health, I would not be making fun of suicide.
Yeah.
Like, clearly, this was a joke.
It was quite a viral thing.
It was a trend at the time, and I just applied it to fitness. But
Do you have it on your phone?
oh my god, my phone is like a dumpster fire. I have so many things saved on my phone. I literally probably have like 100-something thousand things on my phone. It's insane.
I just remember watching it. I was like, this is so true. Like when you get on the scales, you're like, I'm going to shoot myself. Why
me over. You're lucky I remembered what video you were talking about because you would have seemed insane.
I think I messaged you. I was like, you ran yourself over.
You did, I swear.
I don't remember.
I think I messaged you, so I will just
You
go
did.
through messages.
But yeah, I could not find that because I wanted to look back at it and then I was like, oh, I literally cannot find it.
Reported.
No evidence that it was ever there. So, yeah.
Alternate universe.
Yeah.
Delulu.
So you wrote a book.
I did.
Yeah. Tell us about it because I don't know anything about this book.
Yeah, so basically once I did start competing, I very much felt far removed from the bodybuilding community at that point in time and I still wanted to contribute to the space. So that's when I decided I wanted to write a book. I remember I was just driving around. I was like, no one really discusses the post-comp experience and how to navigate that. Well, at least at the time they didn't. I feel like it's more commonly spoken about now. So I basically interviewed, I think, about 30 pros from different federations about their experiences in relation to body image, binge eating, things like that. And then, put it in a book and then did a reflective journal in each part so people would be able to reflect throughout their comp prep journey as well. And I just thought it'd be a helpful resource, something that I would have wanted when I competed, because obviously competing so many times, you get better and better at it, navigating it post-show every time. But I definitely initially struggled in the first year or two just because I didn't have that knowledge or guidance. Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh,
Thank you.
Read it.
You're everywhere. Do you have a busy brain?
Oh my God, very busy. If you couldn't tell with my intrusive thoughts. There's a lot going on up here.
I was talking to my partner about it and I was like, when you watch a movie, what are you thinking about? And he goes, nothing. And I was like, wait.
That must be
what?
so peaceful.
So peaceful. Even I'll be like, oh, what are you thinking about at the moment? He goes, nothing until you ask me. And I'm like, nah, what were you thinking about before I asked you? And he's like, it was just quiet. And I was like, wow. Imagine living in that peace.
Oh, I can't imagine. I remember last night, Noah and I, my boyfriend, were watching Breaking Bad in bed. And I was like, wait, but how did he get the gun from here? And he's like, oh, in that episode where he did this. He's like, are you even watching this? I'm like, I don't think so.
I have to actively be thinking about what I'm seeing on the screen, and then remember, then I follow storylines really well, and you guess the endings really well. Yeah, because you have to be so locked in,
literally.
And that's why I explain that movies to me is exhausting.
Yeah,
and he's like, movies are relaxing. And I'm like, no, my brain
Not for
is
me.
tired. So I feel like it's the same thing. But then you guess the ending and they're like, how did you see that coming? You're like, oh, brother, I'm
way ahead of you.
it.
Literally, it's like when you're reading a book and then you're like, I don't remember reading that page. Then you have to go back and read it.
Every time.
I was just about to
yeah.
say that you reread the page 5 times. You're like, what the fuck is wrong
Yeah.
with you? Like,
Or you go back and you're
lock
like, I
in.
must have missed something. And then you reread and you go, oh, no, I did read that.
No,
And then you're like, okay, I'm back up
I'm
to
good,
scratch.
back to speed.
I must have thought about something else while I was reading that.
It would be so annoying to watch shows with. And then I get up repeatedly as well. I'm like, oh, I forgot to do this. I need to go. I think I need to be diagnosed for sure.
I figured out if I colour in, I can follow the show easily.
Oh, if you can read. Okay,
Yeah.
you keep the hands occupied.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if I'm reading, I listen to music, like instrumental music,
Yeah.
not
I can't
like.
do two things. No.
I put like instrumental stuff on and I lock in because my brain is like,
Yeah, I do that with check-ins. Like I have to listen to music, and normally it's the same song on repeat. And I was like, you've listened to this song 52 times. I'm like, and
I do that. The girls hate it.
Yeah.
I get like obsessed with the song and it's just
Same.
like over and over
I'm like,
and over
and we
and over.
politely go, has this one already been on already? She goes, yeah. And I'm like, I normally just like get my earphones.
see, we work well. And normally it's a Taylor Swift song.
Oh yeah,
Normally,
we're gonna
yeah.
fellow Swiftie in the house. Yes. No one in the office is a Swiftie.
No, but like
Excuse me?
I just don't mind her. Like, and I like some of her songs, but
You're
I'm not like
indifferent?
I don't know like everything about her life. And then even the other day, like a Taylor Swift song was playing. Alex was like, I thought you hated Taylor Swift, and I was like, I just don't have an opinion.
That may as well be hate in my mind.
I was like, sue me for playing a song.
I get so annoyed at myself because I'm like, I'm not going to listen to Taylor Swift today. And I'm like, meh, straight on.
Well, I think like it's the decision fatigue though too, because you're like, okay, I'm not going to listen to it, and then you'll just be like, oh, same album, like
Yeah.
just because you're like, I just need to get going. I don't want to fuck around. I don't want
She's got albums for everything.
Oh,
so you're just like, I'll
every
just
era,
pick
yeah.
an album. But it's nonsense. The other day, Kira put on a playlist and I was like, there's so much Taylor Swift. She's like, it's a Taylor Swift playlist, Ash.
It was like the radio of one of her songs. So it was like
yeah.
other artists and things. But
Sprinkle
and
in
then
there.
literally, and this is Ash being in her own world, but Alexa's like, it's a lot of Taylor Swift. I was like, oh, it's the radio of one of her songs. And then like 2 minutes later, it must be that you hear a piece of it and then
Yeah.
you like don't listen. And then she's like, it's a lot of Taylor Swift. And I was like, what, where were you? We were just talking about it. You're like, oh, we're getting very sidetracked.
I
here.
knew that would happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But very cool that you wrote a book. Was it an interesting process to go through? Was it a hard process to go through writing a book?
I mean, this was pre-ChatGPT, so for sure.
I was just about to say, it was.
Is it a hard copy? Like, can you order a hard copy or is it digital?
You can do both.
Cool.
Yeah. So essentially, I had the idea, and my dad actually used to work for a publishing and editing company. So he's very good at editing. So essentially, I was like, this is the book I want to write. This is how I sort of want to map it out. I don't really know how to like go about this. He was like, basically built me a skeleton. He's like, okay, so if you want this chapter to be about this should have like a beginning, middle, and an end. And we mapped out the chapters together, and then I just got to writing, contacting all of the athletes that I wanted to speak to. That was probably the hardest thing, was organising to speak to people, because some people were very open to speaking to me, and then other people would either leave me on red or they're just like, no thanks. So I feel like coordinating that with people, especially because there's a few people that were just around the world as well, so coordinating time zones and things like that. But for the most part, people were very helpful. So yeah, I just wanted to give as many insights as I could from obviously different federations, but then also competitors who were, you know, bikini, fitness, figure. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
I feel like I never know your next movement.
Watch this space. Neither do I. It'll literally just be like an intrusive thought, and I'm like, doing it. I think once I've got something in mind, I'm like, okay.
What's happening?
So what's next?
That's the thing. I don't really know what's next. Well, actually, I do know what's next at the moment. So my boyfriend, Noah, has been working on an apparel business called Peak Apparel. So we're launching that next month.
Oh,
I have seen little clips of this. Has he got a business partner or?
So it would essentially be me and Zoe,
Yeah.
the coach that works with me. Yeah. So he's been working on this for about a year now, which is super exciting. Yeah. So
cool.
he's very logical. So he's an aerospace engineer.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's very much like logic, systems, whereas like I'm more marketing and vibes. I think we tried to have a meeting the other day, and obviously I'm just like going off on tangents, and he's just like,
But I one of each in
Yeah.
a relationship. Like if you've got two of the same, either shit doesn't go anywhere or it's just like too dry or like just stuff doesn't happen or you don't think of enough like different things. But when you've got one of each, it just like balances out.
He loves
really
it.
well.
He's like, this keeps it fun. But we are talking about this though.
He's like,
stop now.
they make the best business partners, the personality and the logic.
Yeah, he definitely, he's the personality too for sure. But yeah, definitely logic.
No, it's just like drywall.
We have like the exact same sense of humor, so it's perfect. But yeah, he can definitely keep his
thoughts in line.
thoughts in line. I cannot. He just kind of just shovels me in.
He's a train line and you're a roller coaster.
Exactly, all aboard. But it works well.
Perfect. You get to the same destination
We
in the
do.
end.
Sure. All aboard.
I feel like that's a piece of content in the making. I feel like if we see something like that, you would like credit. FM podcast chat.
It's hilarious. Oh my god. I feel like that's me and Kira in some sense. I'm all over the place and Kira's like, we're here for a meeting.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's bring it back.
I can't remember what he was talking about. He was talking about some product sample. And then I was like, Zoe, is this a good caption for the Instagram post? And I was like, we're not even talking about that.
This is very important.
I was like, oh yeah.
But then at the same time, you're like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to focus on what you're talking about until we get this.
Until I get this off my
Otherwise,
brain.
I'm just thinking about it up here and be like,
So I'll always go,
so
back to you in the studio.
with
After I
the delay,
interrupt.
like,
Once I get the intrusive thought out, I'm like, oh, and back to you in the studio.
It reminds me of like when we're podcasting and like we have to hold the thought and you're just like
it's a big thing that it's helped us get better at is like waiting patiently and to be like, okay, don't cut them off.
Oh, it's impossible.
It's so
I don't even see that as being rude. When someone else interrupts me, I'm like, yes, let's fucking build on this.
Yeah, let's just keep stacking.
Normal
on top
people
of each
don't
other.
communicate like that.
No, somebody who isn't in that autistic
In that
realm,
spectrum,
who's not on the spectrum, is like, what is happening? Please finish one of the sentences. But then, like, it always comes back. Like, you always come back to it. And then you'll be like, oh, that thing 10 minutes ago.
That we were talking
Somebody's
about.
listening to it be like, finally.
That's why Zoe and I work so well together. She's actually diagnosed with ADHD, so she's like, there is no doubt in my mind.
That's how he thinks about me. She's like, oh, girl, you got to get that.
But it's so good because you just bounce off each other
Yeah.
and it just works.
Yeah.
I need that.
oh, I love that. That's hilarious.
Perfect.
So poor Noah is just got his work cut out for him.
What have I got myself into?
Even like when my father started meeting some of my friends and even like my sister's stuff, he's like, oh, you travel in groups. Like, yeah, we
find each other, yeah.
Each other, we just bottle up, but then we need someone to be like, woo.
Yeah.
Like, bring us back down to earth.
I love that you keep fixing your hair.
I know. I'm being very cautious.
A mohawk, yeah.
That's like off to the side now.
It's Homer Simpson.
Well, we have one final question and I always mess it up.
Oh, well, you kind of did answer it already.
In a roundabout way.
But where in your life are you currently making moves?
Oh, I love that question. I would say definitely in business and also in investing as well. So Noah and I are looking to buy a house, which has been a very draining process.
And a funny process as well.
It's been very funny. We get so excited. I think that's the problem. And then we realize we're one of like 7 offers and still lose, even though it's a high offer. So it's demoralizing.
Deflating.
Yes,
I was like, you know when you lie on the bed on your phone, I was like giggling to the story that you posted.
If another real estate agent sends me a crack den for an opportunity to buy that's $1 million, I am going to lose my mind. I'm so over it. I'm hoping we find something, but yeah, we're trying our best.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's super exciting. So I've just essentially been, continuing to work on ABBA and then also assisting Noel with Peak, which is exciting. Yeah.
Yay.
So many things.
So many things.
So many pies.
Yeah, and I think that just, for me, it makes me feel very fulfilled and I love having purpose and I love being creative. So, yeah, definitely think I was built to be an entrepreneur.
Love it.
Yay.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. This has been really funny.
And where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram. So it's Alana Faye with 2 Y's because 1 Y was taken. And Abs by Alana is my business Instagram. And then if you would like to support Noah, Zoe and I, it is Peak Apparel Co. on Instagram.
Amazing. So
We'll have to give them a follow.
Yes,
Thank you.
Absolutely. So did you say the next month, the next 2 months?
Yeah, so it'll be in, I think it's about 2 weeks now. It's on the 8th of February.
Holy moly.
Excited. This pretty much be like when this is going out.
live.
Airing. Okay,
Yeah.
exciting. Hopefully don't steal his thunder.
Like, and you've been outshadowed.
I was on a podcast.
Yeah.
You may as well just
I got a
post it
blazer
out.
and everything.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for coming and thank you to everyone for listening and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.